So I just felt really compelled with the cold weather, obviously now even in other places. If it's seasonal depression or some other type of situational depression, this is the first year probably that I can remember that I don't feel the way I've been feeling in the past. And not that I'm saying that like winter is over and that there's no possibility of that still happening, but I would like to say that it's, you know, a lot of the different things I've done since last winter. If you guys are people who know me, who've been following me for a while, you might even remember I actually got like very, very raw about it last year. I don't normally do this because I feel like it looks like it's for attention, but I posted a video of me like in the moment, crying. Just one of the days that I just felt like everything just felt like hopeless and helpless, and I felt like I'm never gonna, you know, if I don't get out of New York, I'm never going to do XYZ. I'm never gonna live the life that I want to live. I'm never gonna live the way I want to live because my happiness isn't truly there. And I'm someone with very strong faith. So this is like, despite my faith and despite my prayers, that I just felt like what gives, God? Like, what's happening? Why can't I get through this? Why is like snow on the ground and cold weather getting to me this much that it's like taking over my whole self and my whole life? So I'm not going to go into it too much because I'm hoping to maybe do this like something every night where I can talk to people about whether they want to share like things that work for them when they're feeling like that. I would like to start just talking about just like general coping skills and how important it is to have some coping skills of your own in your back pocket. Like knowing what your triggers are, aka cold weather, and having it actually set up for you to have a coping skill that will work for you. Like if it's, you know, you're not able to, whatever, like you're working, for example, you're feeling upset. What can you do at work? That would be a coping skill because obviously you're working. Like, can you put AirPods in, listen to music? I wanted to concentrate about music today just because I'm just going to do like a little quick 5-minute live. Two of the most recent reels that went viral for me this past week, since Tuesday, I had 2 different Carrie Underwood reels, like just of her singing. And music, I'm a mental health nurse, so one of the things we do is like talk to our patients about coping skills and triggers and what helps them. And for both myself and my daughter, and probably 70% of my patients, when they are in the crisis unit or admitted to the hospital, they say music is one of their coping skills. And knowing, like, sometimes you know that it helps you, like, oh, I'm upset, so I'm gonna go drive around and listen to music. And you just do it, it's automatic. But if you kind of like acknowledge that and take that in as like, I'm feeling upset, so then I should go listen to music. Like, you take it as not just doing it automatically, but like figuring out a way, like you're at work and maybe you're about ready to just like blow and you feel angry or sad or whatever the emotion is, and you know that that music calms you. Obviously you can't always just take a break, but if you are able to just like go out in the hallway and throw on your favorite song really quickly that brings you some peace and calmness, that could honestly like kind of change the rest of your trajectory of your day. So thinking about that, like thinking about maybe like listing out your favorite couple songs that calms you, like the songs to use for calming, the songs to use for anger, the songs to use when you need to, you know, you don't want to go to the gym, but you feel like you need to, and like what will pump you up. For me, I like to listen to like some Pitbull at the gym. I like to listen, like I'm maybe not feeling into it, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna throw on some old school Pitbull, J-Lo, whatever, like something I listened to in the 90s, and that gets me a little bit more pumped up. For getting through situational breakup depression, starting to go through it, I'm so sorry. So again, for me, like, I think it depends on your likes. Do you have a favorite artist or genre? Because I know this is like, you know, one of those things where it's like Carrie versus Taylor right now. I personally have listened to both of their music in different breakup or divorce situations, depending on what it was that I was going through or who the person was. I feel like different songs relate to different relationships. So if I'm trying to, I guess, like, you have to kind of ask yourself, like, what are you trying to do with the music for like the situational breakup? Are you trying to feel heard? Are you trying to feel related to? Like, do you want to hear music that makes you be like, oh, that's how I feel? Or do you want to try to like distract away from that sad music and, I don't know, listen to like angry metal music? You know, there's kind of depends on like what your goal is for listening. Country, Christian, Carrie and Taylor. So, for example, since I can speak about Taylor and know you'll understand. I mean, I just think she's a poet. I think that a lot of people obviously just don't like her for whatever reason, but I think a lot of people don't necessarily give her the chance to really listen to her music. I also think that it's similar with Carrie, like, oh, she was American Idol, and like a lot of times that's as far as people know about her. Like, boggles my mind the amount of people in the last couple of days that are like, oh my gosh, she can sing like that. Like, I've been listening to those two people for 20 years. And so in different stages of my life, I've been able to like pull from just them, honestly. Like, they both have so much music. For me, like, so I'm in my early 40s. So Carrie and I are like the same age too. So I think as she released her music, it was actually like in time alignment with me. Somebody that's younger, like Taylor Swift, who is whatever she is, like 7-8 years younger than me, I feel like she's finally just like kind of catching up to like the music she's releasing now is like making sense to me, kind of, I guess, if that, like, so when Tortured Poets came out in April, I feel like I was on the tail end of like really doing some like severe healing from some stuff that I had gone through after my divorce. I had some very, I don't even know, I don't want to say bad relationships. They were just like very like damaging, real awful situational type of relationships. I only tried even seeing anyone like very shortly, really once or twice, because I'm technically not even an old, this part of the healing process, like my faith, like I also was like technically not supposed to be dating. That was part of my healing. So that's why those relationships were also so bad for me. Tortured Poets, like, I actually just posted something the other day. I don't know if it was on my story, and it said, when you can relate all 31 songs to Taylor Swift's album called Tortured Poets Department, there's obviously something wrong with the person you're with. And that's how I felt. Like, I felt like I could literally take one or two relationships that I had been in and relate all of those songs to that person. And it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess that person's not the right person. And it also kind of helped me remove myself and be like, okay, so maybe it's not me. Like, it is me. Like, there's obviously things I need to work on, but like, it's my inability to like heal and maybe give that person more chances. Once I was healthy, actually just recently, like I even tried to be like, okay, like we can just like, it's been like however many years, like maybe we can just like be friends and like support each other through stuff. And very quickly I was just like, no, like it's just, you're not the good person. You're just not a good person. I don't want you even in my life as a friend, because it was just very all about them and their problems and constantly causing drama. And I very easily was like, okay, you know what? We're not doing this. And I walked away, and I feel like I needed that personal closure. So that was like a huge part of my coping, was like taking that music that I related to, and it was the music that made me realize that this person is not a healthy person to be in a relationship with. And then I actually took it a step further and used that to like cope. Now I listen to that music and it's like, yeah, that's how I felt, and now I'm out of that and I'm able to like share that story with people. And just recently did I feel comfortable sharing it because of the fact that, like I said, I was going to let them back in as a friend. And, you know, they always say like you can't really effectively like help others when you're still like help others get through something when you're still not healed and you're still in that spot. So anyways, I hope that helped a little bit, but I am just strictly talking about like, you know, Taylor and Carrie, just because those are two examples of like what's helped me. I think country music in general has been helpful for me, just because, and it's funny actually, Taylor Swift said this before she moved out of country. She said, I feel like country music is the best music to write and sing because it always tells such a story. In the background, I have Carrie's My Savior album on. If people haven't heard that before, it's amazing. Like if you like Carrie's voice and then you hear her singing about God, it's just amazing. So I've been like listening to that on repeat every day. I listen to that, or even though it's not Christmas time anymore, her My Gift album is also beautifully done. And so in saying that, you know, music is, depending on what kind of music you're listening to, I honestly like all of my coping skills that I use, it's like I put prayer in there. So like when I listen to music, I listen like a prayer. I listen to it as I'm praying to God. I would suggest just maybe like picking like your favorite song that does feel like, whether, you know, maybe you can make like an angry list on Spotify or a healing list on Spotify. You can make different lists of things that are helping you or have helped you before, and then you can just kind of start playing that when it's when you're feeling the way you're feeling. So those were my little tips for coping skills today. Thank you guys for joining and asking some questions, and I hope that helped a little bit. I did music as a coping skill tonight. I'm going to try to sign back on tomorrow night and pick another one of my coping skills that I use a lot that hopefully will be helpful to you guys as well. But definitely comment or DM me with like a specific question or situation that you're going through. I would love to talk about stuff, just because it's, like I said, it's stuff I see in the hospital every day with people. And one of the things that we do as a mental health nurse is literally like, you know, helping people feel better about like knowing their coping skills and being able to have some things that they can use. So I hope you guys all have a great night. And like I said, if you have not listened to Carrie Underwood's My Savior album, you have to listen to it. It's so good. It's in the background right now. All right. Good night. Have a great night. God bless.